Okay, so Evil Intentions, this was our sophomore visit to Evil Intentions in Elgin, in the former Elgin Casket Company. First time last year, and we made a point of making a return visit this year. What do you think, Laura? Better, worse, the same?
Better. I really enjoyed last year. I thought that was great. But this year, they took it to another level. I thought it was excellent. Last year, the set designs were great. It had a very creepy feel to it, which I really, that was a little different, a little more intense than some of the other haunts. Some have set designs, some, this one has like the heavy metal music playing and more intense haunt, and, not so much in your face, but a lot, the actors and everything, very high creepiness factor with everybody in there. And last year it was good too. There weren't quite as many actors last year as this year, which I thought the additional actors this year really, made it a lot better. As far as they had some really good people in there, good actors. So once again, I really enjoyed it last year. I enjoyed it even more this year. Definitely would go back next year. That's one that I'd be high on my list of priorities to see. So I definitely give it 5 out of 5 again this year.
Any standout rooms for you in particular?
There's the room where, and they had rooms similar to this last year, where you hear like a satanic voice, like chanting, and then you go in and there's these guys, but it wasn't people, it was like these mannequins in robes. And it was like some kind of ritual room, and that creeped me out. I thought it was very creepy. And then there was another room where a girl was suspended from the ceiling, like above you. I thought that was pretty well done. But overall, it was, like I said, it was better this year than last year, even though, last year was good as well. But I really enjoyed it.
So again,
5
rating?
out of 5.
All right. And Michael, your first visit there to Evil Intentions, what did you think about that one?
I give it 4.5 for excellent creativity, craftsmanship, and intensity. The only reason it didn't get a perfect score is because the signage was slightly poor, where you couldn't really navigate, and if people are claustrophobic, there is a maze in there, so people might want to take that into consideration first. And it's hard to get out, but and people can clump up if it's a really busy night. Other than that, it's perfect.
Now, was there any set that stood out for you? Anything you saw that was really creepy or interesting?
That girl who could twist her body in different ways, that was pretty excellent.
Yeah. All right, so 4.5 out of 5 for you.
That's right.
All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give that one a 5 for pretty much a lot of the reasons that everybody else stated. It was great last year. It was even better this year because more actors. Last year when we went, there weren't a lot of actors in there. The sets were still good. The mazes were interesting and kind of creepy. More actors this year, but 3 things stood out this time around. Well, actually 4. The intro, when you walked in, guy introduced everything, and you stand in a waiting room, and behind him is the Elgin Casket Company logo, because it's in the former Elgin Casket Company building, and it's a sliding door, and he says, I hope you said goodbye and kissed your mothers and fathers goodbye, because they won't see you again, and he closes the door on you, and some creepy music plays, and there are these 2 girls on either side of you in cages, and the lights go out, and the next thing you know, of course, they're standing next to you screaming. And it was really well done, the set design and everything. The other 3 scenes, or 3 things that happen. First, the satanic room. I'm not creeped out in haunted houses. Sometimes I'm startled. Sometimes they really kind of get you good. I'm never scared just walking around like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But this happened last year, and it happened even more this year. There was a room full of black hooded figures. It was a dark room. There were at least a dozen figures in there, and you had no idea of knowing if they were real people or not. It creeped me out last year. This year, literally, my skin was tingling. I just wanted to get out of that room. Like, that room was evil. And I know, of course, it really wasn't. It's just the way it was set up. And I don't believe that a single one of them moved, but it sure felt like they were moving and watching me, and that is a fantastic effect. The second one was we were walking through a maze with rags that you had to push aside, and I pushed one aside, and all of it, I had it in my hand like this, and all of a sudden it got ripped out of my hand, and I realized that there was somebody above me, and I looked up, and there's somebody looking down at me, this girl with long hair. I couldn't see her face, and she's hanging from the rafters looking down, pulling these cloths out of the way. Very, very good. And the third thing was this girl twisting her body in some crazy contortions, talking about fixing her doll for her, or getting her doll's head or something. And she disappeared. She led us into this room, she disappeared, and there's another girl in a cage, and she says, oh, you better get out of here before she comes back. And it creeped me out again. Creeped me out. I don't know why. So we got out of there, and we had to go through one of these dark passages, air-filled passageways. As soon as I get out, there's that creepy doll girl. She's holding a doll head, bending over backwards, twisting, and here's the head, and she's looking backwards over her shoulder, staring at you with her head upside down. It was very, very good. So overall, if you want an intense haunt, you want one that creeps you out, and it's got some great atmosphere in there and some intense actors, Evil Intentions is the way to go. 5 out of 5 for me.